Hello, dear learners. Our discipline is British literature and the problems of translation, and today's lecture is the life, art, and the influence of Oscar Wilde. The plan of our lecture follows Wilde's early years, education, family, and the formation of his wit. The second, the aesthetic movement and Wilde's philosophy of art. The third, major works of Oscar Wilde, and the last part will be about translating Wilde, the challenge of irony, satire, and social issues. Oscar Wilde was born in October 16 in 1854 in Dublin, Ireland, and died in November 30 in 1900s, Paris, France. Oscar Wilde was an Irish wit, poet, and dramatist whose enduring fame rests on his only novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray, and on his comic masterpiece Lady Windermere's Fan and the Importance of Being Earnest. Wilde was born of the professional and the literary parents. His father, William Wilde, was Ireland's surgeon who also published books on archaeology, folklore, and the satirist Jonathan Swift. His mother, Jane Francesca Wilde, was a nationalist poet. Wilde was one of the three children. After attending Portora Royal School in Enniskillen, Wilde went on successive scholarship to Trinity College, Dublin, and Magdalen College in Oxford, which awarded him a degree with the honors. During these 4 years, he distinguished himself not only as a classical scholar, a poser, and a wit, but also as a poet by winning the coveted Newdigate Prize in 1878 with the long poem Ravenna. In 1884, Wilde married Constance Lloyd, daughter of prominent Irish barrister. They had two sons, Cyril and Vivian. During this period, as a writer, he published The Happy Prince and Other Tales, which reveals his gift for romantic allegory in the form of the fairy tale. Oscar Wilde prefaced his novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray, with a reflection on art, the artist, and the utility of both. After careful analysis, he concludes, all art is quite useless. In this one sentence, Wilde encapsulates the complete principle of the aesthetic movement popular in Victorian England. Dorian Gray personifies the aesthetic lifestyle in action, pursuing personal gratification with abandon. Yet, while he enjoys these indulgences in his behavior, ultimately kills him and others, and he dies unhappier than ever. Aestheticism, argues Wilde, too often aligns itself with immortality, resulting in a precarious philosophy that must be practiced deliberately. Oscar Wilde is one of the most celebrated and paradoxical figures in English literature. A man of wit, charm, and scandal, Wilde's works often reflect his sharp social observations, biting humor, and a deep engagement with themes of aestheticism, morality, and the dualities of human nature. Two of his famous works, The Picture of Dorian Gray, what was written in 1890, and The Importance of Being Earnest, what was written in 1895, exemplify these traits and provide insight into his complex worldview. In this lecture, we will analyze the key themes, characters, and the significance of these major works and examine how they reflect Wilde's social and philosophical concerns. The picture of Dorian Gray. The picture of Dorian Gray tells the story of a handsome young man, Dorian Gray, who becomes infatuated with his own beauty and youth. Under the influence of the artist Basil Hallward and the corrupt Lord Henry Wotton, Dorian makes Faustian pact, wishing that his portrait would age instead of him while he remains eternally young. As Dorian lives a life of hedonism and vice, the portrait grows increasingly monstrous, reflecting the deterioration of his soul, while he himself maintains his outwardly perfect appearance and stay smart. And another his most popular work, The Importance of Being Earnest, is Wilde's famous comedy and often regarded as one of the finest plays in the English language. The play revolves around two main characters, Jack Worthing and the Algernon Moncrief, who both adopt fictitious identities in order to escape social obligation. Jack, who lives in the country, pretends to be his imaginary brother, Ernest, when he is in London, while Algernon adopts the persona of Ernest to woo Jack's ward, Cecily. The play explored the mistaken identities, deception, and the absurdity of social convention. Both of The Picture of Dorian Gray and The Importance of Being Earnest reflect Wilde's fascination with appearance versus reality and his critique of social conventions. While The Picture of Dorian Gray explores the darker side of self-indulgence, the consequence of living a double life, The Importance of Being Earnest takes a more playful, satirical approach to the same themes. Wilde's ability to blend serious philosophical concerns with humor and satire is what makes his work famous. Oscar Wilde is known for his razor-sharp wit, biting satire, and deep social criticism. His works, including plays like Importance of Being Earnest and the novels like Picture of Dorian Gray, are layered with complex use of language, of irony, and social commentary. Wilde's distinctive style, characterized by the paradoxes, epigrams, and sharp critiques of societal norms, presents a unique challenge for translators. Translating Wilde's work requires more than just a literal convention of words. It demands an understanding of his tone, understanding of his humor, understanding of the author's wit, yes, and the cultural context in which his works were written. The understanding Wilde's use of irony is very important during the translation of his works. The irony is a cornerstone of Wilde's literary style. He used it to create humor, expose contradiction in the society, and question conventional norms. Irony in Wilde's works operates on multiple levels: verbal irony, situational irony, and the dramatic irony, all of which contribute to the complex layers of meaning that are often difficult to convey in the translation. And the Wilde's humor is deeply rooted in his use of language. His witty epigrams, witty puns, and the wordplay contribute not only to the comic effect but also to the depth of his social criticism. It's the end of our lecture. Thank you for your attention.